Thank you, chosen ones, when you walk through life carrying silent burdens, unseen struggles, and unspoken sacrifices. It can often feel as though no one truly notices the depth of what you carry. The world tends to applaud only what it can see on the surface, overlooking the quiet victories and the hidden battles that shape the core of who you are. But the truth is, God sees it all. Every single decision you make in faith, every sacrifice you embrace for the sake of righteousness, every moment you choose integrity when compromise would be easier, these things are recorded in heaven. Today, the choices you made, though they may appear small or ordinary to others, hold a significance beyond measure in the eyes of God. He has watched you turn away from temptation when no one else was there to applaud you. He has observed how you carried yourself with patience when provoked, how you resisted bitterness when wronged, and how you poured out love when it would have been easier to withhold it. There is a profound beauty in the unseen sacrifices of the chosen ones, for these sacrifices are often the purest form of worship. You did not seek recognition, applause, or approval. You acted out of faith, guided by conviction, and driven by a heart that longs to please God above all else. The moments where you could have responded in anger but chose peace instead. The moments where you could have been selfish but gave generously instead. The moments where you could have remained silent but chose to speak truths. These are the kinds of choices that echo in eternity. They may not bring you immediate reward in the physical realm, but in the spiritual realm they carry tremendous weight. God sees the strength it took for you to remain steadfast. He sees the tears you shed in private that no one else knew about. He sees the weight of obedience you carry even when it isolates you from others. It is often the things done in secret that bring the greatest honor in heaven. You may never receive public acknowledgement for what you did today, but in the heavenly record, it is inscribed as a testimony of your faithfulness. God is not like man, who only celebrates what is visible. He looks deep into the heart, into the motive, into the sacrifice that costs you something. That is why he is deeply pleased with what you've done. He knows the resistance you faced, the spiritual warfare you battled, the distractions you pushed past, and the strength it required to do what was right. Where others may see nothing remarkable, he sees greatness in your faith, courage in your obedience, and love in your persistence. Every act of selflessness, every moment of choosing faith over fear, every time you chose righteousness over comfort, has drawn his gaze upon you today. This is why heaven rejoices, because your hidden sacrifices are never truly hidden. They rise like incense before the throne of God, pleasing him in ways far beyond your comprehension. There are moments in life when your obedience shifts, something far greater than you can imagine. Moments when a single choice in alignment with God's will changes the course of your journey and sets into motion blessings that you cannot yet see. What you have done today is one of those moments. Your decision to walk in faith rather than fear, to stand in integrity rather than compromise, has unlocked something powerful in the spiritual realm. Obedience is not always easy, especially when it requires sacrifice. discipline, and trust. But it is always the key that opens divine doors. The act of obedience you displayed today has not gone unnoticed, and it has positioned you for favor, breakthrough, and transformation in ways that ripple beyond your current understanding. God responds to obedience with multiplication. The step you took today, no matter how small it may appear to you, carries a supernatural weight. It has opened the way for opportunities you have been waiting for, and it has shifted obstacles that once stood in your path. Sometimes it is not the grand gestures, but the quiet, consistent choices that bring about the greatest spiritual movement. Heaven takes notice when you align your actions with faith, and the heavens release blessings in response. You may not yet see the fullness of what has been unlocked, but in time, the fruit of your obedience will manifest in ways that reveal the hand of God upon your life. Your obedience today has not only affected your own journey, but also the lives, of those connected to you. There are people who will benefit from your faithfulness, people who will experience the overflow of blessings because you chose to walk in the path God set before you. Obedience is rarely just about one person, sets off a chain reaction that impacts families, communities, and even generations to come. The strength you showed today has created an opening for grace to flow not only into your life, but into the lives of others around you. God's promises are not just for you, but for those who will be touched by your faith, your choices, and your example. There is a divine principle that when you obey, heaven moves. This is why obedience is often met with resistance, because the enemy understands the power of it. He knows that every time you choose obedience over rebellion, light breaks through the darkness, and the plans meant to harm you are dismantled. By standing firm and doing what God asked of you today, you have weakened the enemy's grip in areas of your life where he once thought he had control. That obedience has shifted the atmosphere in your favor and sealed doors that were never meant for you, while opening new doors that align with your destiny. God's pleasure rests on you in this moment because you listened, you trusted, and you acted. What you did was not in vain, for it has aligned you more closely with a path designed specifically for you. In heaven's eyes, your obedience has been counted as faith, and that faith has released a wave of blessings that will follow you in due time. Heaven has a way of rejoicing when the faithful choose to remain steadfast in their journey, and today your actions have caused that very celebration. The unseen realms are alive with joy because your faithfulness has touched the heart of God in a way that words cannot fully capture. Every time you choose to trust Him in the face of uncertainty, every moment you stand firm in the midst of trials, and every instance you decide to honor Him above all else creates ripples that reach beyond what you can perceive. Today, what you did has not only been noticed, but has also been celebrated. The angels rejoice because your perseverance has carried weight in the kingdom, and your unwavering heart has shifted the atmosphere around you. God Himself is deeply pleased, and that pleasure is not just an acknowledgement, it is a divine seal that confirms you are walking in alignment with His purpose. Faithfulness is not measured in the grand or public moments, but in the consistency of the choices you make when no one is watching. It is easy to be faithful when life is smooth, when blessings are evident, and when everything aligns as expected. But it is in the storms, in the challenges, in the seasons of waiting, and in the trials that true faithfulness is forged. Your endurance through such times is what brings the greatest delight to God, for it demonstrates a love and trust that cannot be shaken by circumstance. That is why today holds such significance. The steps you have taken, even if they seemed small or ordinary to you, carried a weight of eternal value. The rejoicing in heaven is not just because of what you did today, but because of what it represents. It represents resilience that refused to give up. It represents loyalty to God's call that did not waver under pressure. It represents love that overcame bitterness and light that refused to be dimmed by darkness. Such faithfulness is rare in a world that often seeks shortcuts and easy ways out. But you stood firm, and heaven celebrates that strength. Angels witness the struggles and the perseverance of the chosen ones, and they recognize the magnitude of what you've accomplished when you choose God over everything else. That is why there is joy surrounding your name right now in the spiritual realm. What many fail to realize is that faithfulness is an offering in itself. Every time you remain committed to God's ways, you offer Him something far greater than words. You offer Him your very life as a living testimony. The choices you made today are an offering that rose before Him, pleasing and fragrant, a reflection of your devotion. That is why His heart is deeply moved, because your actions reveal that your love for Him is not conditional, not based on what He gives or withholds, but rooted in trust and reverence. This kind of faithfulness cannot be fabricated. It comes from a heart that is truly surrendered. Heaven's celebration is a reminder that your journey is not unnoticed. You may feel alone at times, but the reality is that your perseverance is known in the throne room of God. Your name is spoken with honor, and your path is guarded with favor, because your faithfulness has shifted the very atmosphere, chosen ones. Today you must understand that nothing you have done has gone unseen. Every hidden sacrifice, every act of obedience, every moment of faithfulness has reached the throne of God. He has seen what others overlooked. He has recorded what others dismissed, and He is deeply pleased with you. What you did today was not ordinary, it carried eternal weight. You shifted things in the spiritual realm with your obedience. You opened doors that had been locked through your trust, and you moved the heart of heaven with your perseverance. The angels are rejoicing because your faithfulness has become a testimony that cannot be erased. This is your confirmation that your journey has not been in vain. The prayers you prayed in silence, the choices you made in faith,